Hi, everybody. Good morning. Just want to take this opportunity to talk to you about your fractions assignment for today. So we're going to go over subtracting fractions with unlike denominators this morning. And just bear with me because I haven't made one of these teaching videos in a while, so my apologies if it's not the most exciting thing you've ever watched. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to use this model to show the difference between 7/12 minus 1/4. And I'm sure as soon as you look at these two fractions, you're noticing that they do not have the same denominator. So our job is going to be to convert 1/4 to something out of 12 so that we can go ahead and calculate the difference between them. Okay, so step one should be to divide this model into 12 equal pieces. I don't know if it's going to let me draw on this document. Let me see. Maybe? Okay, well, that's not awesome, but it's not terrible either. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so that should be 12 equal pieces. And then in order to remove 1/4 of them, we need to ask ourselves, 1/4 is equivalent to how many 12ths? You can use your fraction strips to do this. You can also ask yourself what number we can multiply times 4 to get 12. If we multiply 4 times 3, we'll get 12 for our denominator, so that will be good. Ooh, it won't let me draw that. Didn't like it. Let me try again. Okay, not going to worry about finishing that. Okay, so if we multiply 4 times 3, we'll have 12 for our denominator. And then we're going to have to do the same thing to our top number. So if we do 1 times 3, of course, we'll get 3. And so now we know we need to remove 3/12. And I can do that just by shading them in. And that is like removing them from our model. If you count up what's left, oh, wait a minute. I didn't do that right. Okay. So I had to start. I skipped a step, didn't I? Hopefully you guys caught that. We have to start with 7/12, not 12/12. My bad. All right. Let me go ahead and shade in 7 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. And then if I want to remove 3 of them, I'm not 100% certain how to show this with these. These tools are not the best. Maybe this? Nope. It's trying to get me to add a signature. Well, you look at that. I don't want to add a signature. Okay. Well, we're crossing this one out, we're crossing this one out, and we're crossing this one out. And that leaves us with 1, 2, 3, 4/12. So our answer, the difference between 7/12 and 1/4 is 4/12. And I'm so sorry about this kindergarten handwriting here. That's the best I can do. Okay, so here we are. This is the next page showing us another example. And it tells us that we can use equivalent fractions to subtract fractions that have unlike denominators. We're going to find the difference between 9/10 and 1/2. Use equivalent fractions to write the fractions with a common denominator, then find the difference. So now this is a nice easy one because 1/2 is one of our benchmark fractions that we've talked a lot about. So we know that 1/2, if we were to convert that to tenths, we would rename it 5/10. So they show that here. 9/10 minus 1/2 equals the same thing as 9/10 minus 5/10. So the next step here is we're going to take our 9/10 minus 5/10. So you would write a 9 in this box right here and a 5 in this box right here. That would give you a difference of 4/10. So 4 would be your numerator right here in this box. I wonder if it will let me type. Nope. 4 would be your numerator in this box. 10 would be your denominator in the bottom box. I can see it on my model too because they crossed out 5/10, leaving 4/10 behind. And then here they gave you this second set of boxes in case you wanted to be super fancy and reduce 4/10. You would reduce that to 2/5. More kindergarten rating from Miss Lynn. Okay, so this one, the solution is either 4/10 or 2/5. Whoops. That's supposed to be 4/10, but I don't think it's going to happen. Let me try one more time. Start it up here. Oops, didn't like that. 4/10. Okay, one last example. We're going to calculate the difference between 4/3, that's an improper fraction, so this represents an amount that's greater than 1 whole, 4/3 minus 1/4. And it tells us to use equivalent fractions to write the fractions with a common denominator. Okay? And then we'll find the difference. 4 is not a multiple of 3, so rewrite each fraction with a denominator of 3 times 4 equals 12. Okay, so the way I would explain this is I would say find your least common multiple, the least common multiple of 3 and 4. And you can do that by skip counting by 3s and skip counting by 4s until you get to the smallest number that's on both lists. So that's our least common multiple. So we would write 3. Oh, geez, this highlighter is terrible. We'd write 3, 6, 9, 12. 3, 6, come on, work with me. 9, 12. And then 4. No, don't do it. 4, 8. Okay, it won't let me do it, but 12 is going to be your least common multiple. 12. Okay, moving right along. Okay, so to convert 4/3 to 12ths, we would multiply our 4 and our 3 by 4. That would give us our common denominator of 12. And on the numerator, 4 times 4 is 16. We would multiply 1/4. We'd multiply our denominator times 3 and our numerator times 3 to get 3/12. Now we can subtract. So if we subtract 16 minus 3, we get 13/12. 13/12 is the same as 1 and 1/12. So that would be, you could either record it as an improper fraction, 13/12, or you could write it as a mixed number, 1 and 1/12. Okay, let's try doing this in Google Slides. I think that might be a little easier. We're going to do these next 3 problems together. We're going to subtract 1/2 minus 1/4. So let's start out by showing this on a model. Pretend that your mom serves you 1/2 of a giant delicious pizza for your dinner. She gave you a pretty hefty serving. She gave you 1/2 of this amazing pizza. 1/2. But you're not feeling so very, very hungry. So you only ate 1/4 of it. We're going to remove the 1/4 that you ate and see what you have left. Okay? All right, so now 1/2, that's a nice easy fraction to convert. If I go ahead and cut each of these halves into 2 equal pieces, if I cut each half into 2 equal pieces, now I can see that I have 2/4. Once you've got that, it's very easy to see that if you remove 1/4 from 2/4, you're only going to have 1/4 left. So that was a nice easy one to start with. Here's the 1/4 that you ate. You just weren't up to eating the other part. So 2/4 minus 1/4 will just leave you with 1/4. Okay, that was so much better. Let's do the next one. Okay, so now we're going to do 7/9 minus 2/3. All right, let's stick with our pizza example for a second here. Here's 3 equal pieces. And then 9 equal pieces. Okay, so your mom made this amazing pizza for dinner. And she served it to your family. Let's see. So she served 7/9 of the pizza. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is what she served to everybody, 7/9. But the family only ate 2/3 of the pizza, so now we just need to see what was left over on their plates. Okay? So we're going to remove 2/3 of the slices. Let's see. 2/3. Now, if we cut each of those thirds into 3 equal pieces, then we'll have 5/9. So 2/3 is the same fraction or has the same value as 5/9. So this piece of pizza was eaten. Maybe dad had that one. Maybe mom had this one. Little sister, and what you had. Okay? That's what you guys ate. So the slices of pizza that your mom served, this one and this one, were left over on your plates. So 2/9 was left over. Okay, one more to do. 6/5 minus 3/8. This one's going to be a little bit trickier. So I'm going to get my pen ready. We're going to find the least common multiple for 5ths and 8ths. And I'm pretty sure that we're going to find that 40 is going to be the least common multiple. Let me see here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So none of those numbers are multiples of 8 until I get to 40. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You guys copy this down as I go, okay? If you haven't been taking notes, if you've just been sitting and watching the video, then I hate to say it, but you've got to stop and rewind and take some notes. Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And then for multiples of 8, we have 8, 16, 24, 32, and then 40. So I think there was actually a little note about that on one of our example pages. If one of your denominators is not a multiple of the other one, then the fastest thing to do would be to just multiply them together. Yeah, that's what it said. If one denominator is not a multiple of the other one, then just multiply them together. That's the fastest way. Okay, so we're going to convert 6/5 to something out of 40. We're going to convert 3/8 to some fraction out of 40. Whoops. I messed that up. 40. Apologies. That should be a 40. Okay, so I have to ask myself, what can I multiply times 5 to get 40? 8. If I multiply my 5 by 8, I must also do the same thing to my top number. So 8 times 6, what does that give me? 48, okay. And that makes sense because 6/5 is an improper fraction, so my new equivalent fraction is also improper. Then I have, let's see, 3/8. So I have to multiply my top and my bottom number by 5. And that gives me 15 out of 40. Now to subtract them, I'm going to subtract my numerators. Whoops. I didn't really mean to write that like that. So that leaves me with 33. Okay. 33 out of 40. Okay, guys, that concludes our video for today. I hope you found that helpful. I'm sorry about my kindergarten handwriting at the beginning. Email me if you have any questions, but I do have an independent assignment for you to work on page, let's see, can't remember what page I said to do. 393 and 394. You don't have to do every problem, but do check the assignment in Schoology so that you know which problems you need to do. All right, I hope you guys are having a great day. I miss you, and I can't wait to see you on Tuesday.